What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today, I got to talk about it. I mean, this has gone down as a disaster. The fact that Terry McLaurin is sitting here and has to ask for a trade because of the fact that they're not willing to negotiate with him something that makes sense. And I'm going to tell y'all this because I remember when everybody was praising Ron Rivera, and I said, y'all, let me tell y'all something. This man was very contradictory in his very first press conference. Said he was contradictory. And everybody thought I was crazy. Oh, we believe in Ron, and Ron we trust, and all this type of stuff. And then next thing you know, guess what happened? He was a disaster. And now here we are with Adam Peters. We just had a very successful season. We're not paying anybody any real big money. Do y'all know that on our roster right now, we got 3 guys making $20+ million? That's Laramie Tunsil, Daron Payne, and Terry McLaurin. That's it. That's all. Them the only guys that's making $20+ million on the roster right now. And here we are in a situation where our star player has to sit up here and ask for a trade because the front office refuses to negotiate with him fairly. And you know what? This amazes me. In any other working world, any other working condition, ageism would be looked down upon. But somehow in the NFL, ageism isn't a problem. Terry McLaurin is an elite receiver. And you know what? And I'm tired of these dumb asses. These dumb asses that are on the radio, that are on YouTube, and have the audacity to come out their mouths and say, well, Courtland Sutton signed for less, so that's going to be a problem for Terry McLaurin. How? I mean, am I missing something? Was Courtland Sutton the All-Pro last year? Was he an All-Pro? Has he ever been an All-Pro? Has Courtland Sutton ever made the Pro Bowl? Has Courtland Sutton ever played in the playoffs? Has Courtland Sutton ever been considered the top guy? When y'all look at lists, do y'all ever see Courtland Sutton's name on that list? And you got the audacity to compare an elite receiver to a guy who's nowhere near his atmosphere or nowhere near his gravitational pull? You telling me this guy, Courtland Sutton, y'all have the audacity to sit up there and talk about this guy like he's something special? In comparison to one of the most elite receivers in the league. A guy who for a very long time still put up very high numbers, still set up there and had 1,000-yard receiving years with quarterbacks that a lot of the guys that y'all consider elite nowhere near. Justin Jefferson had Kirk Cousins for a very long time. Jamar Chase had Joe Burrow since he was in college. CeeDee Lamb gets the benefit of, when he's healthy, a Dak Prescott. Devontae Adams got the benefit of an Aaron Rodgers and then his former college quarterback in Derek Carr. Every time somebody talks about elite wide receiver play, there's always either good enough quarterback or a great quarterback throwing to him. Terry had none of that until the past year. And guess what we saw? We saw a guy who sat up there and who sat up there and showed how big play he is. And now we want to talk about his age? That's what we want to do? A guy who's clearly been nothing but elite for us? And now I'm getting even more angered because it's the thing of insulting. This is what my issue was back with Ron. Washington used to have some of the most intelligent fans there was, including our radio personalities used to be intelligent. Now I'm starting to see that as they've aged, they're not as intelligent as they used to be. Especially one of the morning guys. Well, some of the morning guys. They're not as intelligent as they used to be. Because to come out and talk about Cortland Sutton like he's in the same radius of a Terry McLaurin is crazy. And here we are again, alienating a possible Hall of Famer that again we will have no other Hall of Famer in the Hall of Fame class unless Jaden Daniels makes it. Here we are again. We already alienated Champ Bailey enough that he said all they had to do was give me a call and I would have went in as a Washington franchise guy. Trent Williams has now made it to a year where he can now choose to go in as a 49er, which more than likely he will. And here we are now, Terry McLaurin, and not only that, at a time where we're going to be honoring Art Monk and Santana Moss, and you're putting Terry in this type of position? Don't insult my intelligence as a fan. Okay? Don't sit up here and think that you're dangling something in front of our face to make us be like, oh, it's okay. No. Hell no. There is an opportunity to win it all, and you're playing around. The reason we respect Howie Roseman is because every single year, Howie Roseman makes it a point of saying, we're not here just to win games. We're here to win it all. And if that means I have to sit up there and give a guy more money than what I wanted to, I will do that because his value to the team and us winning the big one is that damn important. But guess what? When you think about places that Adam Peters went to, a lot of them, New England kind of got away because, again, they had a guy and Tom Brady who was making so much money off the field that he could take hometown discounts. But Terry doesn't have to do that. That's not his job to be doing that. And for all of y'all who are sitting up there talking this mess about he's under contract, do y'all know how much he's going to be making next year? Do y'all know what he'll be making in a voided contract career? In a voided contract year? $5.6 million. Now understand this. For a lot of y'all who want to compare your regular ass job to what these NFL players do, imagine, I'll put myself an example. I have never made anything under $30-something an hour. Guess what I wouldn't negotiate for myself? Anything under $40-something an hour. Because you know why? I know my value. I know my worth. You think I'm going to sit my butt up here and take less money just for the sake of what? To stay? Hell no. Think about that. For all y'all who feel that it's good enough, how about you go to your regular ass job and tell them you want to go make less? Then tell them, hey, you know what? Y'all been giving me too much money. I think y'all should give me less money. And guess what? Your company will oblige your ass. Oh, you want less money? Cool, not a problem. Terry is on the cusp of making $5.6 million next year in a voided contract year. And y'all care about him still being under contract? You damn right it's time for him to negotiate. You damn right it's time for him to make his money. And then again, I don't like the comparisons. Guess what? Adam Peters could have got this done. If he wanted yesterday's prices, he should have signed Terry to an extension last year in the middle of the season. But he didn't. And now we're at a point where every time a receiver gets paid, yesterday's prices are not going to be today's prices. So you have to understand that each guy that comes off, it's going to be a problem. Each guy that gets paid, it's going to be a problem. And we're going to be sitting here just like foolish Dallas, who sits up there and waits for guys to come up and then want to do a hard negotiation and end up in a situation where now you have to deal with paying at the top of the market because you was too foolish to understand that you shouldn't have been waiting to sign the guy. DK Metcalf was never a number one receiver. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. DK Metcalf was never a number one receiver, and this goes back to his time in college as well, when he played opposite of A.J. Brown at Ole Miss. Now all of a sudden, Pittsburgh is going to try to force DK Metcalf, who is a poor route runner, into being the number one receiver. This makes absolutely no sense. And it's so sad to have to deal with this. I mean, we're in a situation where this can all collapse easily. Very easily. We are supposed to be trying to win it all. And the only way that happens is Terry on this team. Right now, you're not paying anybody big money, and you got the opportunity to sit up there and make a play before Jaden comes up. Because again, we have a history of wasting talent here. Because everybody who's coming here has stupidly not thought about how to make this work. Again, we have an opportunity to win it. Get Terry in here. Tell him you're going to... And it's not about paying him whatever he wants. Hey, it's not his fault that the market exploded. It's not his fault that Pittsburgh, for some odd reason, went away from their culture and gave DK Metcalf a contract, in all honesty, he didn't deserve. But they gave him the money. That's his value. Understand, Terry is far superior to DK Metcalf. So guess what? Terry's value is ahead of DK Metcalf. I can understand. Just give him 33.2. What is the problem? What is the problem? You have an opportunity. You have a window for an opportunity to win it all. Understand this. In the history of the NFL, we've seen plenty of awesome quarterbacks who sat up there and could win it all. And we saw teams waste their talent because they refuse to put genuine, great talent around them. We saw Cam Newton fail due to the fact of the only thing he had that was stars were the running backs. He had Steve Smith for a little time. He had Musa Muhammad. But once they did that, they just started getting rid of those guys. We saw Donovan McNabb get no superstar until Terrell Owens, and they had such a contentious relationship that it ended too soon. But I will say this, and this is for all us fans that are fans of Terry. Adam Peters is going to get a massive wake-up call very soon. Very, very soon. And it's not just going to be him. It's going to be his coaches too. Dan Quinn is going to see it. Cliff Kingsbury is going to see it. They're all going to see it because you know why? They're getting ready to have joint practices with not only the New England Patriots, but also the Baltimore Ravens. And for anybody that doesn't know, guess what? New England has Christian Gonzalez on one side and Carlton Davis on the other side. So right then and there in those joint practices, they're going to find out very early on at how much Terry is going to be needed in them games. Because knowing Carlton Davis, he's going to be the one that's going to be like, hey Terry, when you going to get in here, man? These boys struggling out here. Hey Terry, what you going to do, Terry? I mean, these boys having a problem. They can't get open. Bro, I mean, you going to let these dudes keep doing this? They can't get open, bro. What you going to do? You need to get out of here. You need to get out here. Carlton Davis will do that. Then they go and they do joint practices with the Baltimore Ravens. And we're talking about at that point, it'll probably be a healthy Jair Alexander, a healthy Andrew Wiggins, a healthy Marlon Humphrey against our receiving core. So understand this. As pissed off as I am that Terry McLaurin had to sit up here and demand a trade because Adam Peters at this current time is coming off as a dumbass, and our glizzy glazing radio reporters are sitting up in his, well, we trust in Adam Peters. Guess what? Those were also the ones that said they trusted in Ron Rivera. And Ron Rivera sat up there and was making the exact same mistakes that Adam Peters is currently making right now. Like I said, we got the bump against New England, and we got the bump against Baltimore Ravens. I'm telling y'all, those two teams are going to show Adam Peters how important Terry McLaurin is when it comes to this offense. And Cliff Kingsbury, you need to speak up, bro. Dan Quinn, speak up. Jaden Daniels can only say but so much. He led the cheer. So, this be the bullshit, y'all. This is how the bullshit begins. And then we sit up in a situation where we're now 3-4 years down the line. We got to pay Jaden Daniels, and we still haven't won shit. Y'all tell me what y'all think. How do y'all feel with this whole thing, this whole debacle of what's going on? Maybe some of y'all don't. Maybe some of y'all agree with me. Maybe some of y'all don't. Maybe some of y'all want to glizzy glaze just like those radio reporters, especially some of the morning guys. Because Adam Peters, he's built up enough stuff for me. No, he hasn't. Already he's making a mistake. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and it's been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.